Hi. So I've been asked to make a video explaining how you can train biceps at home with little or no equipment. So that's what this is. Okay, so firstly, it helps to understand the function of the bicep. So the function of the bicep is to flex the arm at the elbow. So as the muscle contracts, the arm will flex. And to work the muscle, we do that with resistance. Now, if you're inexperienced, then you think that resistance is weight. So you'll have gone to the gym and you will purely think in terms of, if I can do something, I need to add more resistance, I need to add more weight. Actually, there are other options for increasing the resistance. For example, changing the tempo, which is the speed, changing the number of repetitions, or changing the weight, or working more on the eccentric portion, which is in the case of the bicep, the downward portion of the movement, or a mixture of all of them. All of that can be used to increase the resistance. So, where in the house are we going to find something that will provide us that resistance? My first question will be, you say you have no weight, but actually you may not have a barbell, you may not have a dumbbell that you think is an appropriate size. Do you have other things that we can make to perform that function? So depending on your strength, water bottle with a full water bottle, for example. You may have some wrist ankle weights, they're normally about kilo and a half. So you may say, well, that's not enough. Well, firstly, we could, as I said, change the number of repetitions or whatever. Or secondly, if you combined those things and changed the speed or the number of repetitions, would that be adequate? Second thing that I would say about all of that is working on your mind-muscle connection. So really connecting with what's going on in your muscle, which is why I explained to you as well what the function of the muscle is, because it really helps. Also, can't remember if I've already said this. In the gym, things are very often structured into a particular number of sets and reps. At home training is sometimes different. So in the gym, you may find something has been structured into 3 sets of 10, 3 sets of 12, 3 sets of 15, depending on what it is. It may be at home that you need to experiment a bit because you've only got limited equipment and that you just have to go to failure. That means, what I mean by failure is when you can't perform the exercise that you are expected to perform with enough technical competence that you can continue. Okay, so let's go through some options if you have something that you can use. So what if you only have glute bands? So you only have glute bands. What you'll do is you'll sit down on a chair, you will pop the glute band under your foot, you will hold the glute band in your other hand, you pop your elbow against the crook of your knee, and you're going to do concentration curls. You'll have to experiment with your glute bands to work out which one's the right resistance. Obviously, you'll want to work with the full range of motion. So we go to full extension, full contraction. You may want to squeeze that contraction a bit longer than you normally would, and down. You might find that you haven't got one glute band that's exactly the right resistance. So you go for a couple, combine them. As I said, don't think strictly in, oh, it's got to be 10 reps or whatever. Let's go for the maximum muscle stimulation, and you're going to have to think a bit smart about this and really connect with your muscle. So that's what you do if you only have glute bands. What if you've only got a kettlebell, for example? Well, again, say it's a kettlebell that's light enough, you can work with that. If you need to, and you had some, add some wrist weights. What if you've only got a kettlebell or a weight that's too heavy? Well, my question would be, is it an appropriate weight that you could do both arms at the same time? What if you've only got a TheraBand? So the simplest exercise you're going to do with this, you're going to pop it under your foot. You're either going to hold it in thumb up, so hammer curl, or palm up, so traditional bicep curl. And you're going to curl it up and down. And you're going to really focus, like I was talking about, the mind-muscle connection on the squeeze. You're going to control it up and feel that resistance down, as I was talking about the eccentric portion. So that's your option if you've just got a TheraBand. If you've got big long band, it may be possible, only maybe, it depends on the level of resistance of it, that you can pop it under both feet and curl it up and down this way. Or you can pop it round, you loop it together, pop it through your foot, and you can do one arm at a time. The difficulty with some of these is that the amount of stretch of the band might mean you haven't got every portion of the muscle working. So you're going to have to play around with where on the band you hold it to get the resistance appropriate. Okay, so what if you've only got one of these? So obviously you've still got the option popping it under your foot and curling it up, or depending on the resistance of the band, it may be you can pop it under your feet and curl both at the same time. Your other option is to use a door. Now, I'm going to show you with this door, but actually I will not use this door in reality for this. Reason being, if you ever do any activity with a band, you always want to be going against the door frame. So this door opens into the room and you really want to be working away from it. Because if something went wrong with this and I was pulling, there's a danger the door would open on me. So what I want to be doing is going that way in reality. So I've got the door frame to protect me. However, in this case, I'm going to show you a couple of times with this door, just because. First thing, use your handle, get the resistance and curl it in. Second, you're going to tie a knot in your band. If you want to be really secure, you're not just going to tie a knot, you're going to pass something through. And you're going to tie another knot, so you've got a proper anchor. You're then going to put that on the other side of the door. You're going to shut the door. And the band is coming through. Again, as I said, you'd never normally use this door because this is opening towards you. You always go the opposite way to the door opening. You can then either curl up, or if you have a broom handle, you can potentially pass that through, both at the same time. If you haven't got a broom handle, but you've got a rolling pin, potentially you can use the rolling pin. And with all of these, you're going to have to experiment with the amount of resistance, what angle works best for your muscle, and find your own way a bit with getting the right amount of muscle connection, the right amount of resistance, the right body positioning for you, the right speed and the right reps. One last option that I can't really show you here, but I'll just mention, is there is also the option, if you have a pole, but make sure it's a really sturdy pole that can support your body weight, you can position that between two chairs, come under and curl yourself up with that. But as I said, a caveat to that, you have to make damn sure that the chairs are stable, that the pole is stable on the chairs, and that the pole can support your own weight. So I haven't demoed that for you because it's a bit more of a complicated setup, but also you have to be really careful with that one. So if you've got any other questions, let me know, and hopefully that helped. All right, bye.